And just as a follow-up on the set, I'm joined by Dr. Everlyn Njura. She is a researcher with Women Education Researchers of Kenya. Many thanks, Dr. for joining us. And we have seen what has been happening in the country. The government blames the current wave of unrest over panic over the examinations, which has slated for later this year. What's your thinking about all this? And according to the statement by Belio Kipsang, who said that measures are going to be taken against students who he said will engage in criminal activities.
Thank you for having me here. The tensions, there are growing tensions within the schools that have been created by multiple issues that surround the schools. And actually, these need to be addressed from those dimensions. The strikes are very destructive and very disruptive of the education process. Yes.
Okay. Then going forward, we have seen the script from with which this has been happening in 2016.
Yes.
The then Minister for Education, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, said he's fighting against a system, a pattern, a network of individuals who he said are behind the infernos that we saw destructed properties worth millions. Maranda High School in Kakamega, as we speak, is shut. On Monday, Kisumu Girls High School was also closed indefinitely after students went on rampage. So is Chaldi High School in Marsabit County. It appears that the scope of this entire problem is expanding countrywide. Then what measures need to be put in place by the Ministry of Education to address this matter, even as we head towards the examination period for the Class 8 pupils and the Form 4 students?
First things forward, probably looking at the causes first before we can even address the issue of what the government needs to do. There is a lot of pressure on education. And believe you me that we've been telling our students and our children that we need good performance. And that pressure is sometimes too much on the students. And ultimately, they also can see from the graduates that there are no jobs. So where are we pushing our students to? It becomes very difficult, and the tension within them then rises and causes these kind of strikes. So going forward, we need to think about talking with our students and to them as well. They have their ideas, and we as the administrators and the government need to actually show them the right way. We talk with them, we listen to them. Remember, our kids these days are enlightened. They know the rights for children. And therefore, they will engage with that. So we need the government moving forward, having counseling in the schools, which has been there, but we need more of career guidance, in which we also show our students how to create jobs, not to be employed. Yes.
And just to couple of that question before I go to what Kipsan did say about that going forward. There was an initiative which came up with a report that's called Eneza Education Program. And some of the recommendations that it did make was the reasons why students cheat in exams was because of peer influence. And I quote one of the students on that report who said, I cheat because my peers do so. Therefore, to be relevant and to undertake prestigious courses at the university or in the college, then I have to do this. And there are many other reasons as to why students do cheat. Then is this a lesson that we need to inculcate, the lesson of trust and honesty down from home? And what is the role of the parent in this case? Because the problem also emanates from them in the sense that, according to the Minister of Education just last week, according to a report it did commission, that there is a collusion of network between parents, teachers, and students in collecting money to buy the examination paper. So what role does the parent need to play in this case as they bring up their children?
Moral values need to be inculcated in our children and students as well. And this starts right from the parenting, right from home. And if we engage, the parents engage in corruption, which is there within our country, the children can see it. They will move along with it. And this is where the cheating is nothing less than corruption itself. So we need to inculcate in our children means of learning and, gaining the rightful education by their own doing. Yes.
Okay, let me go to you what Belio Kipsan did say when Kisumu High School was closed, Kisumu Girls High School. We have done our investigations which indicate that the cases are due to panic of exams that are set to start in the coming months of the year. Most of the students in the affected schools seem unprepared due to the tight examinations regulations in place. The ministry, according to Kipsang, seems doing a lot. But it appears, according to his statement or from his statement, that there is a rot down there at the school. It again brings in the role of the teachers and the students, how they sculpture these students towards better performance, well-skilled, so that they can fit into the job market. Okay, what's the role of the teachers now?
The role of the teachers here needs to be, one is to show genuinity in terms of performance in the examination, and even in terms of what they're doing in the classroom, right from the classroom to examination level, those skills that they need to learn within that. Then there is the issue of discipline, which cannot be put in another way. Well, the teachers are with the students for more hours than with the parents, in most cases, especially those in boarding schools. So if the teacher is able to do whatever he is expected to do and follow also the policies, then we believe that this can go a long way in making the students better in terms of not cheating, because if the teachers are involved, they are the models. Okay. So what are the students learning? They're learning to cheat. And if the parent is also able to give money to purchase papers, then it's very wrong. Yes.
Okay, then there's also the problem that we need to look at it from this perspective. While we look for a long-lasting solution to this problem, for instance, in Kisumu Girls High School, the students cited high-handedness by the administration or the school principal. How do you also address such issues, the problems that emanate from the teachers themselves, which make the students feel suppressed and not have the enough space to undertake their other activities, because they also said that they have been prevented from interacting with other students from other schools during the co-curriculum activities?
One thing is that education is supposed to foster national unity. And with that, then every person in this country can serve in any part of this country. And therefore, the issue of the headmistress or the headmaster is high-handedness. First, they need to give them time. Whenever we have new principals getting into schools, students need to give them time to deliver their manifesto, for that matter. Yeah, so that we can tell from there that, well, she is performing, she's not performing, and there are procedures in which to deal with if the person is not performing. The other thing, especially with this one in Malsabit, where the students sent packing the teachers. It is very unfortunate because the respect of the teacher is now all gone. That is a very bad picture. I think we did not have this in the past. And the students again need to learn, and even we as the adults need to learn that this country we can serve anywhere. Yes, to foster our national unity.
Okay, discipline is key in this regard, and as we speak right away, the Teacher Service Commission has transferred up to 12 teachers who have been attacked violently by students. Therefore, what needs to be done on the discipline bit of the students? Yes, they have issues that they need to settle with, not the violent way or employing violence, but the discipline bit. What needs to be done to ensure that this is inculcated in these students to have a sense of sobriety within them, that not only will they focus on the academic bit of it, because you can be academically well, but if you do not have discipline, then it means you cannot work with other people in different environments. So how do we need to, put the issue of discipline so important that we need to enshrine it in a manner that the students will feel that discipline is key even before performance, so that when they go out, roll out their skill or what they have learned in classes, they depend more on their discipline than their performance or the documents that they have gotten from the institutions.
One thing is that the discipline in school will actually motivate the performance. But believe you me that while there is the characteristics of students who are generally indisciplined, we also need to bring it out right from the classroom, whereby the teachers, if they foster the discipline within the students, then it will be possible that this will go out. And in fact, in most cases where probably the gap is coming in so that these indisciplined cases arise, is the lack of communication between the administrators and the students. If there is no platform in which the students can air their views, those views will become grievances. And now, right now, we're talking about airing grievances. Where do they air their grievances? It's building the tensions, and this is where we see the strikes. Therefore, if the administration and the teachers can be able to have a forum in which they can listen to and talk with the students, as well as advising them, then this can foster better discipline within the students, because it's just the tensions that will bring the indiscipline.
Okay, yes, we call for a symbiotic relationship between the teachers and the students, but also we need to listen to the problems of these students. Yes, we have looked at the violent bit of it they did employ, but here is here are the words of the local county director of education in Kisumu County, who say the students in Kisumu Girls High School were against compulsory church services that is religious freedom, and restrictions. For instance, she said that the Muslim students were punished for waking up for the morning prayers. This also needs to be addressed. Teachers need to understand that this is a constitutional right that they need to adhere to, even when they sculpture these students to be better members of the society.
Exactly. Our head teachers as well as the other teachers need to be dynamic. Learn the policies, know what the rights of the children are, what is rightful constitutionally, so that they can apply. These students, as we are saying, we've seen in various forums where they discuss the matters, they know a lot about their own rights as students and as children. Therefore, the school principals and the teachers actually need to really be dynamic and understand what they need to really address in this case. The rights of the student to prayers is a constitutional right. It needs to be adhered to. Yes.
And one of the recommendations that was pointed out in the report by ENESA Education Initiative was the fact that there needs to be an equal distribution of teachers and other resources among schools in the country to have a playing level ground for all students to perform. How does that help in the propagation of our education system in the country, so that we offer quality education that is skill-based, to have students who are sculptured well and fit into the fit well into the hierarchy of the society?
There is the saying that all work and no play makes Tom a dull boy. So if we have to really bring up a student who is all round and who can be able to accommodate, then we need to diversify. If we have the academics, give us time for the other extracurricular activities, so that the student can build in terms of have the break when they have their games, or when they have their music, when they have their drama. All those are activities that will enhance and actually take up the energy that we see in the young, people, that is the adolescents, of whom are the majority in our high schools. Yeah. Okay,
one final question before I let you go, Dr. What needs to be done by all stakeholders involved to come up with scalable, viable, and reasonable solutions to the menace or the problems at hand, which have emanated in 2016, spread to 2017, and fast forward to 2018?
One is about policies. Some of the policies that have been made so far do not involve the implementers themselves. And therefore, you find that the implementers have no idea, and they are little sensitized about the same. Therefore, wherever they are implementing them, they are not sure exactly what should be delivered. And therefore, this creates some tension. All stakeholders need to be involved. Students' decision-making listened to, the parents as well as the teachers and the principals as well.
Okay, so that we can have a triangle of attention.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Dr. Njura. She's a researcher with the Women Education Researchers of Kenya, and we are lovely to have you. Many thanks for joining us on Primetime News.